You bought the pattern paper, you sat down to create a card, and all of a sudden it doesn't go the way that you planned. Here's what's actually going on. Today we're going to build two cards at the same time. Every single mistake is going to go on the card to the left, and every fix is going to go on the one on the right. By the end, you'll be able to see exactly where everything goes wrong and how to fix it. So let's get started. Probably the most common mistake that I see people make is when they choose two papers they actually love and put them both on the same card. The problem is, when both papers are loud and are a focal point, they fight against each other. So there's a rule that I follow each time. One paper leads and the other supports. I personally call them the hero and the helper, the Batman and the Robin. So you see here on the left side, I've picked out two papers that are pretty busy. And on the right side, I've taken a piece of paper that is busy, but I've also paired it with one that's a little bit more neutral. It's not exactly colored cardstock. It's got a pattern to it, but it's all one single color. And that color is actually in the pattern paper itself. That's the nice thing about getting paper pads, is that most things coordinate with each other. I also like to pair my hero and my helper with a neutral. That neutral might be white, black, gray, a light brown. It kind of depends on what I'm working with. So on the left side, you'll see I have my busy papers, and I've tried coordinating a colored cardstock with it, and I have my white cardstock. On the right side, I've chosen more whites, so I have a lot of white space when it comes to making my card. Now we're going to do two different things here. On the left, I'm going to make the background the entire background. So I'm going to cut it to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches and glue it on my card panel. On the right-hand side, I'm making a 4 by 5 1/4 inch cardstock so that I have a white border around it. Again, clean white space that helps everything breathe a little bit better. Now here's something that trips people up a lot of the time. Your pattern paper is very rarely the star of the show. It's the supporting cast. The moment you start asking it to be the background of your card and the main cast, that's when the problems start to occur. The card feels kind of unfinished, even though you've actually put a lot of thought and work into it. I find personally the only time you can use pattern paper as the main focal point of a card is if you make it the background and then just add a simple stamp or a word die cut to it. That's where it can really look nice and be the star of the show. But if you have other elements going on in your card, it can be a little bit difficult. So next up, I'm going to cut and incorporate a second piece of pattern paper into this. I'm going to make this the helper. Now you'll see on the left, this is really bold and it's two competing cardstock. And over on the right, I chose a helper, meaning I'm choosing a cardstock that is a lot more subtle, that isn't so busy, or you can choose a colored piece of cardstock, either or. And you'll see that it just looks a lot more calm, despite it being still quite bold. The next area where we tend to go wrong is when a card is not working, we try to fill in the gap, or cover an empty area, or layer something else on top of it. With pattern paper, that instinct of ours is almost always wrong. White space is not a problem to solve. It's what makes your card breathe. Now this one's actually a buying mistake that shows up as a problem when we start to craft. You buy a gorgeous piece of pattern paper, you get home and you go to grab some cardstock to go with it, and you're stuck. You just can't figure out what goes with it, so you just end up sitting there. You tell yourself it's too pretty to cut into, but that's not really the reason. The reason is you never gave it a partner. So the next element of my card is going to be my sentiment. I chose a shadow die, meaning that there are two elements to the word die. One is the background and one is the foreground, or the word itself. And on the left side, I decided to do white, and as well as I tried to coordinate a cardstock, which is really, really difficult to do when it comes to pattern paper pads if the manufacturer doesn't have solid colors that coordinate with their paper pads. And trying to find a coordinating color just from your stash is not the easiest thing to do at all. That's when you really realize just how many shades of color there are in the world. On the right side, I'm going to be using white as well, but I'm going to pair it with a neutral. In this case, I'm actually just going to use some gold cardstock. I thought that would look really nice. Black would look really nice as well, like a black and white sentiment would make all of the colors pop. So let's see what this looks like when they're all finished. You know, it's funny that as I'm doing this video and I'm showing these cards side by side, that I'm talking about the things that, make your cards a little too much when it comes to pattern paper, or, when things look off. And I'm actually kind of liking the one on the left more than the one on the right. Isn't that funny? Now, this is something that ties into a point earlier. The card doesn't feel right, so you add another die cut, you add another layer. You just keep going and don't really know where to stop. Funny enough, the fix is usually a subtraction, actually taking something away rather than adding to it. Definitely one of the hardest parts when it comes to card making is knowing when to stop. That's just a fact of life. And so for this one in particular, I could have added a bunch of embellishments on here, or a bunch of sequins, or all kinds of things. But I decided to just keep things relatively simple on both accounts, just because it would have been just over the top too much. Now, the left side of the card, you can definitely see, now that we're all finished, that it's not a terrible card design at all. Actually, I kind of like the card design, I'm not going to lie. But it's a lot that's going on. My eye isn't resting on anything in particular. Is it the background, the busy background? Is it the hugs? Am I resting on the picnic table with the umbrella? Is it the tag? It's just kind of, that's the thing that is with this card that makes it a little bit difficult. With the one on the right, it's very clear what my focal point is. My eye is generally drawn to that pink tag, and everything is nicely assorted in the pink tag. So your eye just has a place to rest, and it can just create a little bit of a feeling of calmness in your card. Now that you know what's been going wrong, the next question is, what are you going to do with all that pattern paper sitting on your desk? And I have a whole video on exactly that. I created a video on 5 ways to use your pattern paper to get it out of your stash and onto some cards. So come meet me over here, and I'm happy to show you how.